What is happening, YouTube? Silver Surfer coming your way here, and just wanted to share with you guys a few goodies I got from the Baltimore Coin Show. So, yep, it's called the Coin Show, but they also got a bunch of currency as well. And you know me, it's kind of been one of my hot topics these days. So, just give you a little quick overview. We'll go ahead and talk about the first note here that I needed. It's a 1929 national currency. This is a $20 Security First National Bank of Los Angeles. Old Andrew Jackson there on the front, or obverse if you would. And these nationals are series of 1929, so right after the change of the small size currency in 1928. And this was kind of a shift as well before we fully started making our Federal Reserve notes in the 60s, that there was a lot of different banks that were able to get charter numbers from the federal government and allowed to have their name labeled onto it right there, as you see. And so 9 times out of 10, if you guys looked around your area of where you're from, you'll probably be able to find a bank within your hometown, if not within probably, I'd say, 50-mile radius at least, unless you guys are way out there somewhere rural. But for the most part, these things are very, very vast of the places that they're actually printed. So here's a clause right down there. Zoom in here for you. Redeemable and lawful money of the United States at the United States Treasury or at the bank of issue. $20. They have 4 different signatures. They have the cashier, as you see right there in the bottom left corner of the bank. They also have the president of the bank, so of Security First National. And then, as with any other Federal Reserve bill, they also have the treasurer at the time of the United States and the Register of Treasury. So pretty cool indeed. Not, they have the brown seal down here. Not a whole big difference between these national currency notes and the Federal Reserve notes when in 1963 when we started printing those. But there is a difference, with the seal and stuff. So been wanting one for an example as a type note. I got some really cool 20s going on of my smaller size currency, so I figured that, hey, I don't have one of these, and I need one to have a completed type note, or typeset with it. And so I finally finished my note set with this and the note that's above that I'm about to show you guys right now. And then this is the old style small head reverses with the White House there before the newer style designs that we have currently today. So really, really cool. Happy to find this. These guys, man, just to find one that's problem-free and raw, meaning ungraded, from Los Angeles has been kind of a challenge to get one online. So I was hoping the Coin Show I'd be able to find one, and luckily enough, I came across only one dealer that I was able to find a couple. So they're not super, super scarce. It's just they don't come up at auction all that much. But anyhow, that's my 1929. Moving on. After doing a little bit of looking into some of the obsoletes, and another fellow YouTuber out there mentioned if I did a video on his, and kind of sparked my mind a little bit to get into them. I don't know, I'll be honest with you, I don't know a whole lot about them. I know that during the period from colonial days before until the Civil War, which we didn't have a central banking system, and the federal government wasn't printing money per se, that didn't start happening until 1861 with the demand notes. We still needed for our growing country and a way to for transactions to transpire, and so the coinage of that time didn't fully suffice for that, and so a lot of private banks, state banks, started printing their own money and using that for transactions. So that's what these things are. Many of them failed for a number of different business principles and stuff that just didn't seem to work out, but this is one of them that is no longer in existence, and it's the Bank of the Republic, state of Rhode Island here. You can see this is in the denomination of $1. But because, like I said, I don't know all that much about obsoletes, but I do know that I don't have one, and I would, again, I'm a type collector, guys, so I really wanted to get one for my collection, especially because of the fact that these guys are super, super inexpensive. 9 times out of 10, they're almost very similar to the pricing and stuff of Confederate currency, and so I decided, heck, I'll get one, and I did some research, looking to see if anything that interested me, And in the process of that, I found that this note here, which there's a few of them that I came across, but this one, I mean, there's a whole encyclopedia on obsolete notes that you can look at, but this guy right here had Washington on it. And as you know, if you've seen from my prior part 1 and part 2 currency videos, I've been putting together a Washington typeset, a portrait typeset. And so I was like, oh, this just fits absolutely perfect. And so I, again, was been looking online, couldn't find anything. I went to the coin show and was able to find one. So super fired up about it. The reverse has nothing, pretty much blank, which is very common for these obsolete notes. And I'm coming to find out, you can see the cutting and stuff as well. It's just not like perfect lines. It almost looks like some dude just sat there and put it into a paper cutter and trimmed it his own self. But fascinating indeed how these things were made and used back then. But yeah, so this is my first and probably, oops, let me try and get this up here. First and probably one of my only obsolete banknotes that I will get, but happy to have an example. I mean, I paid 40 bucks for this thing, so not bad at all. Not bad at all. Happy to have that. And finally, guys, what I really wanted to show you, well, all this is what I wanted to show you, but what I was really excited to get, and not even intent, these two are what I went to the show to get, and I was able to complete my set with that. So I'm very proud of that. But what was cool was, as I was walking around, I came across a dealer, excuse me, who had a bunch of air notes. And I was looking at them, and I'm like, holy cow, this thing just really struck me as neat. And so you might not, just take a quick look at that, guys. You see anything that's different with this bill? There's a big difference of it. We got the reverse here. Let's see, how about on here? That looks, how does that look? That looks pretty normal, huh? Well, it is. The reverse here is perfectly fine. You see the nice white background that you got around the borders and everything? Let me flip this back over again for you. There you go. Take a look at that. Look at that, man. The reverse was stamped or printed, if you would, on the obverse here. It's an air note, so it's 100% offset, they call it. And I don't know, again, a whole lot about airs. It's something that I've, you know, walked by before at shows and seen them in the shops and online, but never got into it. And man, this might be something I'm going to look forward to doing. I was talking to a couple of the dealers there that sell paper money. Air notes right now are hot. Really, really hot topic. People are buying these up nonstop. I mean, and I was asking them about pricing and stuff, of how it typically works. And apparently the more drastic the air, the more valuable the note typically is. So if you have something that's, you know, completely not printed, or a big old ink smear on it, or you know, the wrong serial number, or the seal is mislabeled or off-centered, or the bill is off-centered in general, the more dramatic the actual air is, the more that it's actually valued for. But this one just looks so cool, man. And there's a huge market for them right now, and it's ever increasing. So I figured, hey, I'll go ahead and get one while I can. And the cool thing about it is that these things aren't all that expensive comparatively to, you know, other, well, not these, but the other large notes and stuff that I was showing you guys in my part 1 and part 2 video. Those are a heck of a lot more than these air notes. So now that I have completed my Washington portrait set and small note typeset with that, this may be what I start taking a look at, guys. At least picking up a few more of these air notes here as ones I see that I like. So very, very cool. You know what it reminds me of? If you have not seen the 1905 $1 Technicolor note, which also has gold seal, gold certificate. It also has President Washington on it. Go ahead and Google that thing and take a look. You'll see what I'm talking about with the background of the yellowing and goldish inside. It's an absolutely gorgeous note, but in VF to fine range, you're still going to be paying about $2,500 to $3,000 for it. So did not pay anywhere near for this one, and it looks rad. So I was happy to have added that as a new piece to my set. So yeah, guys, that's what I got at the show. It is a fantastic show. My first time at that coin show. For anyone that has not been to it, I suggest you get over there. It's open today, tomorrow, and closes on Sunday. I would highly recommend getting there by tomorrow, as that would be kind of the last of the serious dealers there still selling their products. But yeah, really, really neat. They have the U.S. Mint there and all the hype of the big huge lines of people waiting in line to get the remainder of the 500 reverse silver eagles that were released yesterday. So there was a big huge line for them, people walking right over afterwards and just getting them, submitting them to PCGS. So that was kind of interesting to see. But yeah, great time at the coin show. This light is all up in the way. Let's move this down here, get an overview. But yeah, it was a good time, and I was very, very happy. You know, didn't spend all that much, but sometimes you don't need to get some fun things. So anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you think down below, and see y'all later. Silver Surfer out.